What's up, YouTube? I'm Brett.
I'm Lance.
This is Ranter Us. As always, guys, if y'all enjoy our content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave that comment down below. All right. Season 3, Episode 3 of Mayans MC. What did you think, Lance? Had to think about the season there for a little bit.
Mine's the episodes always throw me off. I'm like, is this 3 or 4? I'm like,
well, it's because the first one we got to see like 2 episodes right off the
so
bat.
it's back to back. So now I'm like, have we had 2 more since then or what?
Let me ask you this just before we get into episode 3. Like, normally on shows, I'm like, that's cool when they do like the 2 episode thing, but usually it's for a reason. It's like I didn't understand what was the reason of having like 2 episodes right off the bat like that. Like it.
Well, I thought it was because they got to a like 6-month late start. Like,
could very well be, because I mean it just kind of felt like.
Why don't you just put them all out there at once and be done with it?
Yeah, see, that's where you and
I would not be happy with that.
I would not have wanted that.
I would not enjoyed that.
No, I wouldn't have either. Some shows I like it. Like, I would have liked it for, like, I don't know, The Boys or something like that. But I don't necessarily want it for, you know, Mayans MC or something like that.
We'll go again. I'm tired.
You know, that's a show that I love, but I want it in small quantities. I want the thrill of wondering what's going to happen next week. I guess I'm old school in that way. You know, it's like, that's something that's rare on shows now.
Well, I'll be honest with you. There's not a lot of shows out there anymore that when an episode ends, I'm like, oh my God, I got to wait a week.
I know.
So it doesn't bother me, the waiting a week thing. But there used to be some shows that when they would end, I'd be like, what am I going to, oh my God, I'm going to go crazy just trying to figure out what's going to happen here. But there's not many shows out there like that anymore.
You want to know something? Yeah. The old Sons of Anarchy was that way for me.
Yeah, like the first 2 or 3 seasons, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, a little bit. But with me, Sons of Anarchy went to crap right after Opie died. So
I mean, I'll agree with you. Yeah, it did drop off drastically after Opie, but it was one of those shows that even in the crappy seasons, it still was there. They still had enough cliffhangers that made me go, okay, I want to see what's going on in the next episode or next season.
Yeah, I will give you that. But they also, to me, I feel like they had too many cliffhangers sometimes. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
No, or too many out of nowhere, out of left field type things happen. And I'm like, you know, that can be cool. But if you do it 5 or 6 times a season,
yeah,
it kind of hurts the show, I feel like.
I kind of feel like Mayans is doing really good this season of not doing that. Now, I think they've done it somewhat in the past on some things, but not a whole lot. Not like Sons of Anarchy.
I don't feel like they've gone overboard with it.
I don't feel like they've done it like, you know, even as Sons of Anarchy has, you know. I don't feel like they've done that. And, you know, that's kind of odd to think about because Kurt Sutter was a part of both of those shows, so you would almost kind of think the exact same thing, you know. But
yeah, you know, this is something me and you had talked about. You know, we had thought that, you know, this season going into Mayans, he was going to just absolutely have nothing to do with it. But if you pay attention to the credits, they still list him as an executive producer.
Yeah, but I think, like, you know, what I've seen of some of the stuff that's coming out.
But I think he's more hands off with this. Yeah. He's hands off now.
I know I read an article the other day that they were praising how this season's writing is so much better. And I don't know, like, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed episode 3. I felt like episode 1 and 2 was almost kind of like almost borderline dumpster fire. And not because it was necessarily bad, but just because it just wasn't. It didn't live up to expectations after 6 months.
I was just to say, I feel like a big problem with this season so far that has gotten like you down about it for sure is we waited so long and this is what you've given us.
No
and
doubt.
So that affects it a lot. And I think that if we had got this season like on time or on schedule, you probably wouldn't feel as much that way as you do because of the length we had to wait and the fears we all went through. Is there even going to be a season 3 right now? Because we heard nothing. It just went radio silent about Mayans. Like
even on the fan pages, it's like
that's what I'm saying. Like everywhere nothing. You go to Google and Google something about it, and you found nothing.
Yeah, it's like, and that was the weird part about this show is
I was scared.
Yeah, it kind of was because it's like you
because I had gotten big into season 2.
Something on it, and you couldn't find anything. Like fans weren't.
Yeah, I got big into it in season 2, and then when it went so silent like that, I was really getting scared because I was like, I actually found a show I really enjoyed, and now I don't know what's happening.
It's kind of almost like Walker, like we've talked about.
Yeah, when they
Walker,
took that
just all of a sudden was like, hey, we're going to take
off, I was like, now honestly, okay, I like Walker, but not enough that if it did just get canceled in the middle of the season, I'd be like, oh no, I'd be like, whatever, I'll find something else to watch.
I'd be like, oh no, don't cancel. It was just gonna get good. You know?
I don't know if that show's gonna get good until next season.
Hey, you got a lot more hope than what I do, buddy. I get to the point I'm like, oh please.
Hey, okay,
I make it through this episode.
Here's my thing on that. I'm not sure if I have hope with the show or I have hope in Jared Padalecki.
Jared Padalecki we trust, basically. You know what?
But there are certain times where Jared Padalecki does something on this show, and I'm like, that was horrible. Like, did you forget how to act between Supernatural and this? Like,
yeah, it's like.
And I love Jared Padalecki. But, like, we seen him get mad in Supernatural all the time, but for some reason in this, he's like, blah, blah.
I know. Or when he tries to get, like, too funny about
or when he tries to act surprised.
Yeah.
Or when he tries to act surprised on this, he's like,
didn't see this coming. You know, it's like.
It's just like, it drives me nuts. I'm like, you were so much better than this as Sam Winchester.
But see, even going back to even Mayans MC, like that was the one thing, you know, we were talking about it, Jared Padalecki.
I forgot we were doing a Walker video. My bad.
Hey, this rants are us. We rant about everything here. But even on Mayans MC, that's the one thing that I kind of felt like it always missed for me is there was never that one character that I just completely and totally trusted. You loved Angel in it. I was kind of like...
the first two. I loved Angel the first 2 seasons. This season has bothered me with Angel. Although I do think it's supposed to heat up when it comes to Angel because he's in some trouble.
Oh, yeah. He's in some trouble. Some woman trouble.
Yeah. Serious woman trouble. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's going to be like, so our kid's missing and this is what you decided to do?
Yeah. I kind of feel that way too. Okay, even if that was my ex, and like you said, our kid is missing, and you're seeing him just sleeping around with that, I would be like, I would lose my.
I'm like, I'm gonna kill you too. Like, and I had a feeling when they took her to Mexico or whatever, and then people took her and she disappeared. I had a feeling she was coming back for Angel.
Oh, I wonder if she really thinks that was a wasted trip.
But I didn't expect her to just be sitting in his house in the dark while he was screwing some woman.
I was actually expecting if it would have gone on another 2 minutes of him being like, hey, you want to have a 3-way? Like, that's the way it's going.
The way he's did this season, it wouldn't surprise me. He's going to be like, why are you so mad? You can join in.
Yeah. You know, it feels like that's all he's done this season so far in 3 episodes. It's just been like, hey, you know,
I will agree with you. As as hard of a pill that is for me to swallow because he was my absolute favorite character.
See, I liked him.
I
Don't get
have
me
to
wrong.
agree with you. I will have to agree with you on this season. That's all he's really been about.
Hmm.
And I hated Easy the first couple seasons. This season, he's one of my favorites.
Dude, I think, and you know what I think it really comes down to is his girlfriend. Like, it's not,
No,
he's
I
gotten
mean,
so caught up
even
on Emily that
well,
it's
yeah,
like,
that freaking helps tremendously. Don't get me wrong, but I enjoy Easy's character even when his girlfriend's not around. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
when he's off doing his own thing, I still enjoy his acting this season, his character, everything about Easy. I actually enjoyed this season.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of felt that way too with it. I mean, I feel like he's out of the two, I feel like he's portrayed more this season of interest. Like, he comes up with plans, he's active in what is going on. He's not
But
just on the
and
sideline
that,
being
but
like,
that,
hey, Emily, what are
but
you up to? You know,
Well,
it's
but
on
you
the.
gotta understand too, like, and this is just my way of thinking. This is the first season of him as a member of Mayans and not just a prospect. So I mean that kind of tipped the scale a little bit to make his character a whole lot more involved, a whole lot more interesting.
I will say this, and I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but I think all of us kind of probably are realizing what's going to probably happen next is now that Emily is having problems with her man, you know who she's going to run to.
Well, yeah, I said that episode one.
And,
You
and,
know,
and so, I mean, she's going to run to
and her
him.
sister. Well, her sister's already mentioned it like twice.
I know when her sister mentioned that, I'm like, oh no, they're setting that up. Like, please just let that stop. Like, yes, that was his ex or his high school sweetheart, but we don't need that crap. A lot of people have high school sweethearts. Most people aren't with theirs. Like, I mean, like, it's
Most
like,
people don't even think about theirs.
I know it. So I mean, it's like I hate that about Sons of Anarchy and Mayans, where it's like both the main protagonists are so caught up on somebody that they were in love with when they were teenagers.
Well,
And that's so
look, man,
stupid.
we've said it. We have said it in so many Mayans videos in the past. It's just a reboot of Jackson Terror if they keep going down that path. And nobody wants that.
Even to
We've already had that. We did. Most people didn't enjoy it the first time around. What makes you think we're going to enjoy the reach around?
it's like even the even what goes on in their life is almost the exact same. That at some point in time, probably Miguel and Easy are going to have it out, and Easy's probably going to kill Miguel in some form or
Yeah,
fashion.
yeah. I
And
feel
just
like
like
I feel
what
like
it
that's
was when
coming.
Tara come back,
I feel like they could very easily look. Let's just say Emily goes and cheats on Miguel, even though he's cheating on her and
Yeah.
doesn't really care. He beats the crap out of her. Easy's gonna kill him.
Yeah, I know. Like right off the bat, that's what's going to happen.
If that's the way they do it. But either way, I do think that Easy will end up killing Miguel.
Yeah, I think so too. I
Whether
actually think so
whether it's
too.
because of Emily or if it's because Miguel finds out that Easy killed his mom, Easy's gonna have to end up killing him.
See, I thought it was going to be about the mom thing, but then when I'm seeing how Miguel's
I don't.
acting towards
Okay,
Emily, I'm like,
all
it's
right.
going to be about Emily.
Look,
It's going to go back to that
yeah,
crap.
I definitely agree with you there. Miguel, I understand that he's all upset that his mom died, but he's not that upset because the coroner's done left him messages every episode about the autopsy, and he never calls him
I
back.
don't understand that. That makes no sense
I'm like,
whatsoever.
he just doesn't really want to know what happened or what?
I
I'm
know
like,
it's
but
like,
I'm like, that was so stupid to me. Look, the coroner is calling you about the autopsy, and you're like, I'm gonna ignore that call. I'm gonna ignore figuring out what happened, but I'm gonna go question her therapist.
yeah, I'm going to question her therapist, kill her driver, do all this other kind of things along those lines, but I'm not going to actually find out what actually was the cause of death. That makes no sense whatsoever.
at all.
And even look, I don't know how forensics and all that necessarily work.
See, I feel like this is
strangled.
I,
After
what?
being burned like that. I don't
Yeah,
know.
they'll be able to. They'll be able to because of the damage of throat and stuff.
Very well be.
But
could be.
I mean, they can tell that. They can tell that type of shit.
So I mean, they're going.
My deal with all of it is I feel like if Miguel's dad was still alive and somebody killed his wife, he would have already found out and killed everyone.
Yeah.
Where Miguel's just like, I don't really want to know if she was suicidal or not.
It's like
being a wuss. Handle your business.
It's like Miguel is the most powerful man in that whole region. He's over a cartel.
Supposedly.
He can't even keep his wife away from a prospect. And he can't.
Well, and another thing, like even that woman that Miguel was sleeping with, he was like, "Oh, Galindo runs this area," and she's like, "You don't know who really runs this, do you?" I want to talk shit to you like that. I'd have been like, "Let me show you who runs it."
That's what I'm saying. I expected him to slap that woman around or something.
Yeah, something. I mean, if you were a cartel, if you were the head of the cartel and basically a prostitute said that to you, she'd be dead.
He's not ruthless, but that's the whole problem with Miguel that I don't really
like. We have had that problem with Miguel Galindo since the beginning of this show. Yeah. Me and you have mentioned this so many times. So many times we have complained about you're supposed to be, they referenced the Galindo cartel throughout Sons of Anarchy about how ruthless it was. Mm-hmm. So where's that ruthlessness? Like,
you want to know something? At times, I almost kind of feel like Easy and Angel's dad is more ruthless than what the head of the cartel actually is.
Dude, sometimes Angel and Easy are more ruthless than the head of the cartel.
It's like I feel like Galindo
now, the one thing that has,
willing to do anything.
The one thing that has driven me absolutely bananas about this entire season so far is the whole story arc of Meth Mountain.
Oh, I know about Coco.
Yeah, we're gonna put a bunch of meth heads on this mountain, and he's gonna videotape you sleeping after being shot up by a heroin.
And why are all the men meth heads always in those tiny shorts that are cut off shorts? And I'm like, why? I don't every time I see.
I feel like they're trying.
Even if I was on meth, I wouldn't wear that.
I feel like they're trying to make meth heads look like rednecks and hillbillies, and we don't all look like that. And when I say we don't all, I'm talking about rednecks, not meth heads. I'm not meth heads.
I'm like
all meth heads might look like that, but not all rednecks look like that.
Because I thought it was kind of funny when that guy that's ahead of the meth heads or whatever, when he goes and he gives Coco the gun, and he's like, and that woman that's just randomly there, she just I mean, it was that ruined that moment for me because I'm like, all I was paying attention to was the woman, not what was going on with Coco.
Well, I'm like, how come the authorities haven't came up to this meth mountain everybody seems to know about, and I don't know, taking the kids out of there?
I don't know. That's what I'm kind of thinking. It's like this, Coco know about it. The other guy that he was getting the drugs from knew about it. And I'm like, Bishop's gonna find out about all this here soon. And all he's gotta do is be like, hey babe, you're the mayor, handle this shit. Okay. You bring up a very good point. How did they find Bishop in that one area doing the underground things, getting the heroin? And yet they can't find the meth heads. That's just right down the corner.
That's because that stupid woman, Riz's sister or whatever, cousin, aunt, whatever she is, snitched on him.
Oh my goodness, that woman is.
She's dead.
Even in a show, that even in a show, I'm like, this is the dumbest woman I've ever seen in my
Dude,
life.
like
Like
first of all,
you told
she
that
was
other
like,
woman to
that's even
snitch
like,
on a gang.
yeah,
Like, what do
okay.
you
I was
think
just
is
to bring
gonna
that up.
happen?
I was just to bring that up. That girl that is in jail for being their mule is
Mm-hmm.
stupid, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she took off and got herself caught.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but at least she's smart enough when she's like, you need to tell them who you were running it for. She's like, are you out of your freaking mind?
I know. It's like to me when she said that, I'm like, do you realize she's not in prison? Like, she will not make it out of prison with that. Like, she is.
No, she wouldn't make it to federal prison.
Dude, you can maybe say that.
They gonna kill her in holding. Like,
You can maybe say that to somebody that's on the outside and be like, just take off, just run and see if you could just start a new life somewhere and maybe somehow they won't find you. But they will definitely find you in prison. They have people on the inside that will.
You think they don't have people inside the women's prison too? Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, so I just kind of felt like that was pretty dumb.
And then for her to be like, her questioning them, and then Bishop being like, "We got a fucking problem," and she's like, "No problem." And then somebody just randomly snitches. You think they're not gonna put that together?
Almost kind of. Okay, this is where I kind of almost thought it was funny. Bishop being such a tidy guy, when he goes up there to like, we got a problem. I was thinking that woman's gonna just beat the ever living daylight.
Well, that's kind of like when,
I got a problem.
That was kind of like when Bishop kind of challenged the other Mayans. I'm like, he wouldn't have done that if he didn't have Easy and Angel standing right behind him. That's what I'm He got Napoleon syndrome. He's like, and you know it too because you notice when he challenged them other people, he looked around first and then he was like, "You think you can do it without my pipeline?"
I know. He had to turn around and look at him like,
y'all got my back, right? Okay, we're good.
He's 6 foot.
Y'all got my back. Okay, we're good. I'm gonna talk some shit. Like,
I kind of felt that way too because I was like, oh,
I haven't seen Bishop really show that he's not, even though he's a small, structured guy, that he's not one to be messed with. Maybe if I've seen him put in some work like that, I'd be like, yeah, Bishop's badass. Don't mess with
Well, I
Bishop.
mean, he did get into that fight with Angel. I mean, there was
that. But nobody really won.
Yeah, like, I mean, I kind of feel like maybe Angel would have got the best of him in the end of that. Like,
I think the thing is, Angel was smart enough to know that if I just utterly beat the crap out of him, everybody else is going to kill me.
Yeah.
Like, so
you know that there was a part of Angel that was even holding back there. Like,
yeah.
I mean, he knew he was.
And, technically, when they look at each other like brothers, they might have both been holding back a little bit. But the only reason Bishop had a leg up and was like, "You ever do this shit again, I'll kill you," is because you're the president. If you were just another member, Angel would have ate your lunch.
Dude, if that would have been Easy that went and done something junk like that, he would have been dead. In a lot of ways, like, I mean, and that's.
But I'm saying if Bishop didn't have that president patch, I think Angel would have mopped the floor with him because he would have held back.
I really do too.
So I just don't see Bishop as that, and it's just because he hasn't put that. They haven't put that in the show because he's the president. He doesn't have to be a badass. He's got all these other people that can be a badass for him.
But now we find out that he's the mayor's ex. Like,
yeah,
I didn't know.
I caught on to that quite early.
I didn't even get it until I was talking with you, and you were like,
"But the thing is,
that's the mayor." And I'm like,
the thing is, I've watched that show more recently from season 1 through now. Yeah. Where you watched it way back, so you probably just don't even remember that she was the mayor.
They showed her in like one episode, and I thought she was gonna be like a bigger role.
I think it was like episode 3 of season 1.
Yeah. I mean,
and then
it's like,
it was like at the beginning of this. Remember, at the beginning of this, she's the one that told Emily, she's like, "We can't even afford to have people pick up the trash."
Yeah.
Because y'all signed this contract and then didn't come through.
Isn't she the one? Wasn't she in the episode where those guys were killing people that were going across the border?
Yes, that was the first time we
That's what
saw
I was
her.
thinking. That was the episode she was in. But see, I thought she was going to play like a bigger role, and she didn't play. She hadn't played any role so
I think
far.
she's about to now, because that's why they're making a big deal about her being with Bishop. Is she's going to have a bigger role in something this season, probably helping him run drugs.
See, I didn't get why Bishop went to Alvarez if he was just going to do what he wanted to in the first place. Like I didn't.
Here's something I didn't understand. Like everybody was like, like Alvarez said, I know this week's rough on you. I know what this week is. What is it? Is that the week they got a divorce or what?
I know, it's like they never explained that. I was like,
it has something to do with her, because that's why he's drinking outside her house every night.
And I kind of was a little bit disappointed when Alvarez told Easy to go, and I was kind of thinking, okay, he's going to warn Bishop, don't trust this guy, or something along those lines.
Oh, when he was like, go there and keep him company.
Yeah. And I'm like, what did that dude say? How much do you bench press?
How much do you bitch, bro? Yeah. I'm like, oh my
God. What an idiot. But
I've been like, who you think we are, the Swole Boys?
I know. No. Let's start our own motorcycle gang now. We can both bench press over 200. It's like.
I was like,
it's like, but I felt like that was going to be what he was going to say, and it had nothing to do with that whatsoever. And so I was a little bit disappointed by that. But I was kind of like, why did Bishop go to him in the first place? I get it. It was to get like some form of protection, but apparently he didn't even get that. Like, I didn't.
Well, because they never made it out of there with the dope.
Oh, okay. So it was, see, I thought it was to keep like the cops away or something.
No, I think it was, they were supposed to kind of run protection to make sure they got through the checkpoints and everything.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
But at the same time, that don't really make any sense, because if the cops are paid off where you can give them protection through, getting through checkpoints, it's like, why don't the cops paid off?
See, when I say protection, I'm not talking about from the cops. I'm talking about like rival members, or charters trying to take their dope.
I almost kind of felt like you didn't really even have to put it in the truck. Like, I don't know. If I was them, I would have got on four-wheelers. I'd been doing that on like four-wheelers or something like that, and not on.
That's just because we're from backwoods.
I know. It's like, I'd be thinking about, you know what? If I lost half of it with getting caught on this, then I'd still have like this other half going in all these different directions. Like, I just feel like that would be maybe a smarter thing to do. That way you could say, hey, I'm just out here riding four-wheelers. What's up, guys? Something like that. Like,
yeah, and then they were like, okay, they send the prospect to distract them, and then that guy's like, okay, the prospect bought us another minute. What good did that do?
Didn't do any good. Like, it just literally didn't do any good. And it's like, okay, that's one problem I had with Coco in this one, where they're finding out all this is going on, and Coco's like, hey, I'll take a handful here and there, and then smoke.
I think that was the show. I think that was the kind of show. To me, that was one of those juice moments. Honestly, I think he was contemplating stealing a key.
Could very well.
Because he was already addicted to that shit after that bitch shot him up.
But I mean, at the same time, I was like, come on, man. Like, your life is literally on the line. If I was Bishop, if I didn't shoot that guy then, I would have definitely shot him later. Because
it was Easy that was like, dude, what the fuck you doing?
I know.
You gonna help us or not?
I can't believe, but see, that's the problem that I have. Is it's like Bishop doesn't take the initiative like Easy does now on some things. It's like Easy's running the gang now.
No, I definitely think that Easy's just gonna rank up.
Oh, I think so too. I think he's
like
going to
to
be,
at least like sergeant in arms or something like that.
and
Like
I think that's going to be a huge problem to Hank and Tazin. I think it's
I
going to be a
think it'll
huge
be.
problem with it.
I think it will be a bigger problem for Angel because now he'll be his superior.
Could very well be. I mean,
Your little brother's pretty much ahead of you in the game
but
that
at the
you got him in.
but at the same time, I'm kind of like, I never imagined that he wanted to be in that role of like, ahead of a gang or anything like that. Like,
No, no, but he would. I don't think he would want to answer to his little brother.
yeah, especially a little brother that that just joined the gang, basically to sell the gang out. Like, I mean, that could be where
And then ended up liking it or whatever. Yeah, it's.
that could be a situation where he maybe outs his brother. And
I don't think so. I don't think it would go down that far, but
accidentally, not on purpose. Like getting into a fight with him and be like, the only reason why you're in this gang is because of that.
I don't think that would happen at
You
all.
don't think
I
that
don't.
happened? I think they're going to eventually find out one way or the other, and they could find out through Potter, or they could find out through Angel. And I feel like it could be either one. I feel like eventually they will find out. I feel like
I think that if they do, he'll be so high up there that they're not going to do nothing about it.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. I feel like they will. He'll this season. He's gonna, like you said, he's gonna rank up. He's gonna be ahead of a lot of those that's been there before him, simply because Bishop puts more trust in him than what he does anybody else in that gang. So I mean, yeah, you're gonna see that, but I think that is when you're gonna start seeing. Maybe,
like I said, I do think
like
that it's going to be a big problem with Angel if he gets ranked up way higher than what Angel is. I think it's going to be an issue for Angel.
Do you think Coco is going to make it through this season?
I don't think so, man.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
You know what? At first I wasn't really worried about him, and now I'm kind of like. Ooh, like it seems like you're so far gone at this point. Like, I don't know if.
Okay, here's the thing, and I don't think it'll be. I'm not saying that the Mayans themselves will kill Coco, but I just don't think he's gonna make it out. Now, I do think that if they find out he's addicted to heroin, how are they gonna trust him to run heroin with them?
See, I don't know. I mean, I didn't.
Like, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't trust. I'm
sorry. I'm not going to trust a heroin addict with my heroin.
No. I'm not going to trust. I mean, I wouldn't trust him with any of the drugs simply because he would go and sell those drugs to feed his own addiction for something else. I mean, so it's like
just
you can't really
drugs.
trust that guy anymore.
Or just steal the drugs and use them.
Yeah, and so like even if you say, hey, you know what? I'm better over this. I'm recovered over this. How could you still trust that guy, thinking that he might just at any time go and screw us over?
They don't even realize how bad off it is for him. They think he's just popping pills.
Yeah. They don't even have any idea. Like, I mean, now someone's
even the ones that can tell he's strung out.
Yeah. Dude,
somebody's going to see track marks eventually.
Oh, yeah. Somebody's going to see that, and then they're going to be like...
I thought that big guy did, because like when he asked him if he was going to quit messing with that crap, he kind of looked down at his arms. I thought he was going to notice it.
See, yeah, because he keeps asking. I don't think they fully know just how bad it actually is. They almost I think they kind of think like he's lazy and just being strung out, but it's like more than that. It's like full-fledged addiction mode.
Yeah, they don't realize. Yeah, they don't realize how deep he's gotten, and they, like I said, they think it's the pills. They don't realize it's heroin.
But I'm like, how is that guy going to blackmail him taking those pictures of him?
I don't know what that's about. If that dude's just like a weird pervert, or
no, it's got to be for something though. And I'm like, he's not going to be able to blackmail him with Bishop.
No, well, he's not going to be able to blackmail the club, but he can blackmail Coco himself. Like, I'll tell your club what's really wrong with you if you don't get me the heroin.
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't know. It's
It's
like
gonna
so
be kind
many
of
of the
like,
club members kind of know that something's up with him. I don't know if
yeah, but
they'll
when
know
they
the
find
extent.
out what it is,
Yeah,
they're not
yeah,
gonna trust him with things. And the thing is, I think what that guy's gonna do is kind of like what that black sheriff did to Juice. It was like, we're gonna tell the club that you're part black if you don't bring me a key of heroin or whatever it was.
that was the dumbest storyline on
And
SOL.
I think it's gonna be something like that. Look, I'm gonna tell the club how bad off you're addicted to this crap if you don't bring me some of it,
Could very well be. You know what? That actually could
so
very well
that
be
he
that.
can distribute it throughout his mountain.
Then he really will die. He really will
That's what
die.
I'm
If
saying.
he steals
Dude,
from,
honestly, dude, when they had him in the car and they pulled him out, beating the crap out of him, I thought he was dead. I
I
thought they were
didn't
supposed to kill him. I did.
see. I
I was
didn't
like, I
think.
can't believe they're supposed to kill him. Episode one.
See, I didn't think. I didn't feel like he was in danger at all in that episode. And the reason why is because I thought he was going to be a character that was going to make it throughout. I thought he was going to be kind of
Okay,
like their Tig. Like that's
season
the way I
one,
felt
season
towards
one,
Coco.
season one and two. I thought, yeah, I'm right there with you. He was one of my top characters, not the very top, and I saw him as like a Tig type character, but I can already tell he's more like a Juice type character.
Yeah, he's going down the path of Juice, and probably same outcome as what Juice did. He's going to become
But
frustrated.
overall, okay, let me ask you this. What did you think? Like, where would you rate this episode? Just this episode.
Oh man, I would say probably about 7.5.
See, we're kind of on the same page here lately. I was gonna say 7.5,
Yeah.
just for the fact alone that it was so much better than the first two episodes.
Oh, this is the Mayans that I was expecting. I mean, I'm not going to say it's like to another level, but it's the Mayans on the same path that if I would have said if this would have been the first two episodes along this lines, I wouldn't have had any complaints with the first two
Yeah,
episodes. I
yeah.
feel like this is a Mayans that while it wasn't great, it was good enough that it wouldn't get me to complain about it. It did have its plot holes. I felt like they could have maybe explained about Bishop a little bit better. I feel like there could be, they maybe
I
could
think that
show.
I think the reason they're not explaining about Bishop is that's like set up for something later that we don't really see the whole picture on right
Yeah,
now. But we will when it comes to light more and more.
yeah,
And so
and
I feel like they're doing that with a purpose, not just like Kurt Southern just dropping a storyline like he did
yeah.
in Sons of Anarchy.
And I'll tell you another two things that are my problem is I don't like the Coco storyline. I don't like the that Tazza hasn't done anything so far after killing Riz. Like I'm like I expected a little bit more of that. Also, I didn't really understand why the Sons of Anarchy were so pissed during this episode. Like I just felt like, oh
I
crap, we just
mean,
come up
I
in
could
here
understand. I could
and
understand if
talk
they
all
were
this crap.
pissed, but I could understand if they were pissed, but I don't understand them being so openly abrasive about it. Like,
Yeah, like you don't just
hey,
go.
I'm taking some shit over, so this shit ain't gonna fly no more. And if you think it is, we're gonna have a fucking problem.
Yeah, like
I'm like, you're on their property right now.
I know it's like there's two of y'all. There's I don't know 20
Yeah,
of
I'm
them.
like, you got some brass balls right
I
now. You know?
love the idea when that one Mayan was like when they were kept bringing up
I
Jack
did
Teller.
love that. I knew what you were supposed to go with. I
Yeah,
think it was E that was like, "Who the fuck is Jax Teller?"
yeah, I know. And he's like, I don't know.
It was somebody, and then that other guy was like, "I don't fucking know."
It's I love that because it's like they've tried so much to incorporate that into it.
Oh,
Like everybody supposedly knows who Jack Teller is, and like he's
yeah,
so
and now
known outlaw that
I will
everybody
say
knows.
one little scene that I really did enjoy also was the one Denver.
Oh, the Juan Denver. Oh my goodness, that was one of the funniest parts of it.
That
That was
Angel cracked me up in there because he's fuck did you just say to me? Like, and he was catching it.
Yeah. Angel was like, "What is going on here?" Like,
Yeah.
like,
And so I love that banter right there. I just love that part.
You know what? I hope we see more of Juan Denver. I hope, like,
just for that reason alone. Just so he can keep screwing with Angel.
I know, it's like.
Although I don't think Angel's going to find anything funny for a little while, because
no,
I think
he'll have to listen to a lot of John Denver before he'll catch anything about that.
look, he is a bad ass biker guy, but Adelita is pissed. Like. So I don't think he's going to find anything funny because her foot's going to be so far up his ass. Like,
you talking about brass balls from the Sons of Anarchy. He might not have any balls, but
because that's not like somebody
you would want to mess
that's
with.
not like it's not like he just got into a normal relationship with a normal chick. She was she was taking out the cartel, dude.
It's like, okay, it's like not only.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's not even like she's gonna be.
Why would you ever piss her off?
She's wanting her baby back, and she doesn't.
Yeah, that's what
they're doing that while she's worried about her baby. That ain't gonna fly with her.
They had me torturing me for months in prison, listening to a tape of my kid crying. You were out here getting laid.
I know. That was my biggest problem in episode 1 and 2. That's going to be my biggest problem this season. I'm glad Adelita is back just for that simple reason, because I feel
I was not a fan of her in the first couple seasons. Mm-hmm. I mean, I didn't hate her like I do Emily, but I wasn't a huge fan of her. But I am glad she's back, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen there, because I can only imagine how pissed she is right now.
Oh yeah, she's gonna be pissed. But overall,
you don't mess with a mama bear's cubs. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But overall, I would say definitely 7. Probably about a 7.5 for me. You say about a 7.5 as well.
I do. Now I will say this: the way they ended that show, this episode, I was like, "Holy crap!" Because she was just like, "Maybe you should put some clothes on first." Over there and sees her, and you could see the fear in Angel's face. He's like, "Oh shit!"
This woman took on a cartel. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
With nothing but children.
Yeah, that's all I got though. I mean, I could probably talk about this episode by itself for another 3 hours, but let's not do that.
Yeah. But overall, guys, thank y'all so much for watching. And if y'all got any comments, leave them down below and let us know. We're fans. We love talking to other fans about this just as much as we enjoy talking to each other about it. So let us know what y'all think down below, and take care, guys.